Today I'm doing an update on my propagation shelf tour, which I did 6 or 7 months ago, which is utterly crazy to me. I have made a lot of changes. Winter was also not great to some plants. That might be my fault as well. So there have been a lot of changes and I'm excited to see the contrast between those two, and also going forward, because we're going into spring now and summer, to see how these plants will grow going forward. Hello. My name is Palisa. Welcome to Plants and Things. We talk about plants and things. Here is a whole view of the shelf, which is really, really tall. So I had to really go back to get everything in view, which also gives you a snippet of the plants in this corner. And this is honestly the sunniest corner in this home, and that's why there's like 1,000,001 plants. And I am hoping to do an actual plant tour soon. So yeah, I'll do a closer deep dive of those plants, but for now I'm going to start with the shelf, my propagation shelf, and I think a lot has changed, so I'll just do a quick overview before I do a whole deep dive. That guy wasn't there, this Peperomia Hope, but it's not a Peperomia Hope, it's a Chinese money plant. Anyway, so that's just a quick view, and then I will start at the very top. Okay, so this is the top shelf, and I think previously I actually didn't have any plants here, and have since moved my Monstera adansonii plants, which for the most part were living in my bathroom. And I did mention previously that I used to leave the window open. I still do. I like leaving the window open in the bathroom at all times, like in the nighttime. And so these plants were getting really cold and they aren't doing so well. But in my defense, even the ones that were not living in the cold aren't doing so well. So yeah, these are my 3 Monstera adansonii propagations that are surviving. I think that's the best term to describe what's going on here. They are surviving. Hopefully this this new season will do them well. Yeah, and they're living here because they don't like direct sunlight, and direct sunlight doesn't come to these plants on the top shelf, but they do to the plants, but it does to the plants at the bottom. Next to that is my sea blue pothos, which also got moved here in the winter because I thought it wasn't getting enough sunlight. And it then started dropping a lot of leaves, which is a bit funny. Okay, one just came off as well. Yeah, so it dropped off a couple of leaves. I think now though it seems like it's doing better because this leaf didn't even come out. But this one looks like it's doing well. So I think we are on the recovery, but that's my Cebu blue pothos. And generally I don't water these plants very well, which is something I need to reform. And yeah, I don't think this plant loves direct sunlight either, because this leaf is looking very washed out in yellow. So I think it will be moving back to its original spot soon. And then behind that is my pink perfection, which, the leaves are pink, especially this one. Look at how pink it is. But yeah, it's growing. And I think our relationship does well when it is just chilling there, and I don't have to deal with it all day long. In my second shelf, I have, just trying to decide where I should start. Okay, let me start here. This is a Monstera albo propagation, which is doing fairly well, actually. I think it's also going to start popping new leaves because that looks really, okay. I need both my hands now. This looks really, really ready to pop. Ooh, this looks ready to pop. So I think pretty soon we're going to start getting new leaves. This is one that I wanted to sell, and I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe we don't need to be hasty. So it's still living here. I think it is perhaps the one I like more between the two. And then I have some mottled syngoniums. I've spoken before about how I love the leaf shape. Did I say sleep shape? This leaf shape. And here's a baby one that is not, doesn't have a lot popping, which is weird because when the mottling pops a lot. I found that they really love direct sunlight, but no, they're not doing so well. Here is a Cebu blue propagation. I think I potted this on the channel, and it survived. I definitely do not recommend potting up things in winter anymore. And then back here is another Cebu blue pothos propagation. That is hopefully doing things in the background. And then this is another mottled syngonium. This one hasn't popped anything yet. No, nothing yet. Ooh, no, I'm lying. It's popping something. Ooh, it's popping something. Ooh. Okay, I'm like trying to. Okay, a new leaf is forming. So that's great. And what will you have it? Another mottled syngonium. Like, this is the mottled syngonium. Yeah, these cats are not doing the best, but they also aren't dying. These are very easy to care for plants. Anyway, then I have this shelf. So I have a syngonium albo. I have a couple of peperomia propagations over there. And this is the, spoken about this oxalis before. This is an oxalis volcano pink splash, and I really like it. It seems to close every time I'm trying to film. It's closed, and I think maybe it just closes during the day, but sometimes it definitely does open, and the leaves aren't just pink. They're a mixture, like you can see, a mixture of pink and red, and it's really pretty. Yeah, so I like that. And then we also have, what are you? Just some dirt. I am pretty sure there is something in there. And then we have another Cebu blue pothos, which isn't doing terribly. And then coming over here, what is this? This is a syngonium. This is an albo that is popping out a new leaf and drying out at the same time. This is not looking good. That's that. And then this Cebu blue we saw, and then this is some, like a bigger, and two of them, mottled syngonium. Neither one is popping out new leaves yet. And then here is a mishmash of plants in syngonium. So this is my, I do not know what the succulent is called, but I love taking the leaves and propagating them. What for? I'm not sure. And then some peperomia hopes that fell out or I cut, because I also love, because they actually propagate the same, similar. Like you just put the leaf in and it grows, or it doesn't, like that one. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen there. But yeah, I have a couple of peperomia hopes. After selling off all the other ones, I've decided to propagate a whole lot more. And then over there at the very back is another syngonium. I almost said anthurium. Look at those roots. And I've forgotten the name again. I will remember the name and put it on the screen. But yeah, it's just growing silently there at the back. Yeah. Nothing much to say about it. So that is, let me move this on. So that is the second shelf. And then moving down, we have, so I have a couple of plants like sliding up and down, but I'll get to this one when we get to that one. So here, I have the most random thing, which is an avocado seed, but the roots are growing. Like this is such a thick root and it's just growing all over the show. So I just put it in this plastic container because I cannot find a thing that will keep all these roots, and some of the, yeah, like it's a mishmash, but it's my, hopefully it's going to be my first successful 2 avocado situation. Doesn't look like, ooh, okay, there's a thing there. Okay, so hopefully it will be successful. Here we have something that's trying to grow and I do not know what it is. Yeah. And then here we have something that's definitely dead. definitely dead. I think it was my lemon lime. I think it's definitely dead. And then moving swiftly along, we have this pink princess. Yeah. We have this pink princess, and it's also just chugging along. And then here, feel like it's random dirt, but with something, probably also lemon lime. I think there was probably also lemon lime in here that are not doing so well. Here is another pink princess. This is probably the biggest one I have. And it's also really chugging along. There was a half, yeah, like it has the little like splashes of pink on its red, and it's really pretty, and it's popping out a new leaf. So it is really chugging along, and I think a big thing that I have to do is be moving it so that it's not growing in one direction. And then I have my neon. This water is disgusting. I'll just say that from the jump. This is my neon pothos that is propagating, growing a new leaf. It's struggling to grow roots though, so I'm not going to pot it up yet. But as soon as it grows new roots, I shall pop it up. But it is growing a lot of, let me just take this out of the disgusting water so you can see. It is growing a lot of leaves, and there's like one little root there. There's one little root there. Yeah, some roots. But by far more leaves than roots. So yeah, I do need to change that water, which I want to say I'm going to do. And then this is a mixed bag of things. A Plochronthus. This is a Syngonium, mottled Syngonium. I have a Marble Queen pothos. Okay, that's very surprising. I also have, surprise, surprise, Peperomia Hope. And then here I have my dying orchid. Dying or dead orchid? It's either dying or it's dead. Yeah, that's what's happening there. And then here are more mottled Syngoniums. There's the leaf, and yeah, some babies are starting. Recently watered. Yeah, I think I should move here. And then over here is a tiny little Marble Queen leaf. And then I have a huge, like, oof, this is a struggle to take these things out. Yeah, it's basically like a cup of mottled Syngoniums. Ooh, and a Syngonium elbow. Okay, basically just a jar of, and some of them, wow, there is a lot happening on this shelf that I'm discovering with everyone else. Anyway, it's just a couple of propagations. I do not know what the best angle for showing this is, but it's just a lot of different propagations that I think I need to relook at, because clearly some of them are yellowing and or some of the leaves are yellowing and or dying. The water still looks fine though. So, ooh, let me see whether it's actually grown any roots. Okay, the root system is not, it's not anything to write home about. So that's that shelf. And then going on to like the second last shelf, I think this is a thyme. I think this is thyme. Yeah, it's a herb. A friend of mine bought me a herb, so I have a herb. I have not had much success with herbs, but this herb is chugging along. So actually, yeah, it's chugging along, which is great. And then here I have my recovering Chinese money plant. I almost wanted to say Peperomia Hope again. All these leaves, this used to be a full plant, it lost all these leaves, but it is doing that springtime flowering thing, which I think is completely cute that they do in the springtime. So it is recovering. I am always tempted to want to cut it, but I won't. And then here in this disgusting water, I think is a dead, yeah, I think this is dead. So I just need to accept that and throw it out. But this is where my Plochronthus verticillatus used to live. And then there's more. Ooh, there are some cuttings of Scindapsus pictus. And they're actually doing well. Look at those roots. I had forgotten about these propagations. They're doing quite well. As you know, I have had very little success with growing these outside because they really like a lot of humidity. So I think as soon as I pot them up, they are going back into the propagation shelf. So they need to enjoy their time out. And then here at the back is this silver splash. I think it's called a silver splash. It's not dying. That's basically it. It is not dying. So we're thankful for that. And then I have some peperomia hopes. I have one growing in this cup, and I haven't like moved it up yet. It's literally just that. So it's still a bit tiny. And then close to it is this one, which is also growing up on, yeah, it's growing up. So it's much bigger than that one, and which is cool. Again, I've thought about selling it, but I have not, nor will I probably. And then on the very last shelf, random things at the back. And then I have this dry mottled syngonium, which has been featured on this channel quite a bit. And this is the newest vine. And look at these leaves. So it's popping out some very pretty and varied leaves. And then this one is climbing on, yeah, it's climbing on this shelf, which I really, really like. And so, ooh, look at these leaves. Look at this leaf. Oh, I really love it when they mottle. I've said it before that when they mottle really, really well. Yeah. So, and here's another leaf, and this other leaf is trying to get into the picture, and I'm like, you're not mottled. So yeah, here's another leaf, and so this is a really, really gorgeous little section. And then next to that one is another mottled leaf, mottled syngonium that also has the most beautiful mottling. Even this new leaf that is currently unfurling is so gorgeous. And there's half moon. So that one's growing next to that one. And then there's another. This is basically a shelf of mottled syngoniums. This one is growing this way. So at a point, I think it was growing down. But the leaves started becoming smaller and smaller. So I actually might end up cutting this one because these leaves are tiny. And I don't know what the plan was. But yeah, the leaves are tiny. And then at the back, surprise, is another mottled syngonium. And there's a lot going on. Ooh, there are two of them. Look at how full and big that is. So this one is growing up at the back, and it is a sunny day, so this one's growing more up. It also had leaves that were becoming smaller, and I decided to cut it, and so it hasn't started growing any new leaves yet. And then the very last plant is this syngonium albo, which is just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, so I've said before that one day I might have to cut my syngonium albo, but that day isn't today because I still have all these other syngonium albos. So this one is more green than white, and it's growing a new leaf. So I think it's growing from a couple of stems as well, which, gorgeous. So, yep, that is the last plant. That is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!